Okay, I'm here with Alex, and you're showing me a piece of steel. Alex, what's that about?
I was going to talk about failure because we've designed this studio from, for the last 24 years. And you design something and in your head, you take the measurements, you calculate it, and then you get the number. So we had these made, and this is Mark 1. So it worked okay.
What does that do?
It sits underneath the chassis. So the chassis, the building, and all the walls are resting on this. But it became apparent that this would be a good idea. But now we've got a steel fabrication shop where we can make all these things ourselves. That opens up new spheres of design because we can design it ourselves, test it. But the thing with this is it was wrong. So that measurement there was 45, but I just didn't allow for that curve, that bigger curve on the steel. And that bigger curve there, because that's 4mm steel. So now we're on Mark 2. So we were able to reduce the size of the steel to reduce the curve, and we made that a little bit bigger and that a little bit smaller. But it's just an example of when you're designing something, you think that it's easy. It is easy as long as you don't mind failing constantly.
That's what a lot of creativity is, isn't it? Just failing and failing and failing until you get it right.
Yeah, and then we end up with the 16x8 and the annexes, and they're just, they've got there through failure, not through some clever idea.
Yeah, on a education note, it's something schools kind of tell you off for failing.
Well, that's true, and I try and say this to my children. I'm a stepchild. Failure is a wonderful, wonderful thing because it's not failure, it's education.
Yeah.
You're educating yourself on how that will work. You're working it out. You're experimenting. It's never, make that and it comes in and it fits. It's make perfect. That comes in and and usually it's not constant. Eventually you do get there and you have this thing that's a joy to work with. The right screw goes into the right wood and they all click together, and the pallets and the whole system. And the 16x8s and the annexes are in that sphere now. But if somebody asks us to do something new, I don't know.
Well, you've got a chap that wants his studio on a platform 1.2 meters high.
So, we've got the steel fabrication, but I guarantee you one thing will happen. We will do that studio and it will be 1.2 meters high, but we won't do it the same way the next time because we will have learned. And it'll take, if we were making that studio, I would say it would take 5 or 6 attempts before you go, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But as I say, with the 16x8s and the 12x8s and that, they've been through that journey.
Yeah.
And as I say, failure. So it is why sometimes we're a little bit reluctant to do bespoke studios, because we know
you've gone through all the failures.
Well, we know there'll be failure in it. You'll be doing something, I wish I hadn't done it that way.
Yeah.
We've built about 10 sheds and the sheds look great, but they don't flow. When you watch the fitters doing a 16x8, they're chatting to each other. Yeah, I know, yeah, and it's all, I know what you mean. Yeah, I was playing football on Friday and I was doing that. And they're working away because everything locks together. I mean, they're all big, strong guys. So the strength and their intelligence and their attitude is an absolute requirement. But you can see that it's a lot easier than...
Yeah, as soon as you go bespoke, that guy, he wants a higher studio because he's in a flood zone.
Yeah, so it can be done, but there needs to be a cost implication of that.
Yeah.
You need to cost in the failure because you've got an idea it's going to work and you're drawing it out. But somebody said that about drawings, because we're building a house in Hunstanton, and the planning officer said to me, have you got working drawings? I says, no, because somebody once told me working drawings, usually you have about 45 of them because of all the changes that happen throughout that drawing. So you're on drawing 45. But most builders know, so the window should have been, half a brick that way. But I'm not allowed to change it because I've got a drawing that says it's got to be that way. So the drawing has to be sent off. Whereas a builder knows, move the window half a brick that way. Makes sense. I can see that it will work. It'll save me just chopping the bricks in half rather than chopping quarters and ending up with what we call perps and all sorts in the concrete. But again, it's because it's a one-off. It takes ages. Where if somebody asks us for a bespoke studio, it's going to take ages.
Yeah.
If somebody asks us for a 16 by 8, it's...
Well, it's a big reason why a lot of our competitors charge double what we charge.
Yeah. Mm. And the studios are, remain assets. That was imperative, that they can, the value can be realised again.
Because they're portable, you mean?
Because they're portable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay then. So yeah, a little summary of mistakes.
Failure.
Yeah.
And if you're going to start a business, embrace, truly, truly, truly embrace failure.
Yeah.
Treat it as your friend, not as your enemy.
Yeah. Well, it's true of life as well, I think. Okay, that's great. Thank you.